Devastation, folks. Devastation. There's always something crazy that happens when I'm about to obliterate people in the NBA playoffs. I was about to manhandle and fandangle these guys. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's what I was gonna do. And only something that could not possibly happen would stall the beating that I was gonna give these people, all of you. 3 different leagues, 3 fantasy league teams, all of them about to enter the playoffs. I was gonna win all 3 of my playoffs, but yet something happened. Somebody said, bring forth the coronavirus. Let's just get to the intro. Thanks for watching the show. I am your host, Coach Wondergeddon. The show is Coach Wondergeddon. As I said, coronavirus devastates the world. Can you believe it? It started from Wuhan, China, and it's gotten to the NBA and taken over all sports. Everything's suspended. Fantasy leagues, obviously, suspended if our leagues are suspended. So interesting what's going to happen next. As I said before the intro, I have 3 teams going into the playoffs, and I have the high expectation of winning all 3 of my leagues. I know it sounds crazy. It does. But you know what? I feel like the only thing that could have stopped it was some type of coronavirus, and it happened. But you know what? I'm probably gonna just win when they unsuspend the league. Might take a few months for that to happen. It's gonna be interesting what's gonna happen with fantasy. I'll be honest with you. I'm the GM of a league, and I have no idea what's gonna happen next. But I'm gonna assume that after about a month, maybe a month and a half, basketball is gonna start. It's probably gonna be pretty interesting watching ball in the summertime, but we'll see what happens. But that being said, I still have a show, and I have to come up with something to talk to you guys about. So I did. And this is a pretty interesting topic. It's going to be coronavirus based, obviously, because that's what's going on right now. So fantasy league playoffs has happened or has begun in some people, for some teams. I know I have a couple teams that are starting next week, but I came up with a question, and I thought to myself, who's benefiting from the coronavirus? Obviously, no one in the real world is, but in fantasy land, there are 5 NBA players that I think are benefiting the most from the coronavirus. And we're gonna start with number 5. Is Jusuf Nurkic of the Portland Trail Blazers. Nurkic got a little bit of extra time. He got injured, hasn't played this year yet. He's gonna have a few extra weeks when his time passes. He should be able to, get a little bit of extra time to heal up. He's got health. He's young, and he just needs a little bit more rest. They have him, I think just because it was a broken leg and he hasn't played in a year, they're gonna have him on about a 15-minute limit. Hopefully he'll get a little bit of extra work during that time, and maybe he'll be able to come in on a little stronger note. And that's what I mean by coronavirus benefiting. That's number 5. Number 4 is Kelly Oubre Jr., Phoenix Suns. Knee surgery was supposed to knock him out for about a month of the season. Again, with the coronavirus, it looks like the season's going to start in about a month and a half, 2 months, which gives him time to recover from a knee injury. He doesn't have to rush back, obviously. It's the Phoenix Suns. They're not really winning too much. But if he does get on there and play, whoever has him in your fantasy league is going to benefit from having, an extra 15 points, 5 points, 5 rebound type of guy on their team. Number 3, Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Memphis Grizzlies are still holding down the 8th spot. Right now, he's down with a bad knee. He was supposed to be week to week. Obviously, with a 6-week gap in between the season, you're looking at maybe a couple extra weeks. Kind of take your time coming back and have a few weeks of rest as well. Jaren Jackson, young guy on the team. They are pretty good at forward center already without him. The Memphis Grizzlies are a little bit deep without him, but he is up and coming. I think he's going to have a really good season, maybe even next year, even better season if he was to sit out the rest of this time. He's going to have a little bit of extra time waiting for that incubation period to go through and come back a little bit stronger in time for the playoffs, the Fantasy League playoffs. Number 2, Malcolm Brogdon, Indiana Pacers. He's currently week to week with a torn quad, and he's going to get some rest and relaxation, sitting up in quarantine, relaxing yourself, getting yourself ready for the Fantasy League-based basketball playoffs. You got a little bit of extra time there, buddy. You might be able to come back and benefit somebody's Fantasy League team. Number 1 guy who I think is benefiting the most from the coronavirus is Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns had a broken wrist, which was supposed to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. I'm guessing, I don't have any concrete evidence, that you're looking probably about 6-8 weeks that the NBA might be closed. That gives him more than enough time to recover from a broken wrist. That's not going to stop healing during the coronavirus outbreak. You're getting back 27 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. He's going to hit a few threes for you. If you're able to get that guy back on the court, then you're going to have a Fantasy League team that's going to be pretty hard to beat. Karl Anthony Towns, if you haven't gotten over him being missing and you left him inside your injury list all season or for the last few weeks, I mean, good for the coronavirus. You just got yourself 6 weeks to get a guy healthy that's going to give you another 27 plus points and 10 rebounds, 5 assists. That's my top 5 list. Unfortunately, guys, I'll be honest with you, not a lot of stuff going on without sports. Can't talk about fantasy sports without real sports. So the coronavirus has knocked us down a little bit. I was going to tell you about UFC Fight Night that I watched. The main event was Kevin Lee versus who did he fight? He fought Charles Oliveira, but Kevin Lee missed weight, and I hate talking about fighters who miss weight. And then he went into the match and then he lost. So Charles Oliveira should be getting all my attention, but he looks like he's gonna jump up from sub 10. So we'll see how far up he jumps, and then maybe I'll talk about him next time I see the list of the top 10 UFC fighters, maybe pound for pounder in each division. At some point, I want to talk about all that stuff with you guys. But right now, I talk more fantasy sports because we're supposed to be in the middle of a bunch of stuff, a little bit of a couple fantasy games. But don't worry, we're going to talk some baseball. I'll catch up to you guys on the baseball stuff. This actually gives me a little bit of time to collect my thoughts. I thought I was going to be drafting in a week. Now it looks like it's going to be a little bit longer than that. So we'll see if there's some sort of compressed schedule or anything like that we're looking for the baseball season this year. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be pretty interesting. Coronavirus has rocked the world. 2020 has been a weird one so far, guys. Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening. Strange. That's the show, Coach Wondergeddon. Thanks for watching again, guys. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram, Coach Wondergeddon. You can go on my Facebook, Coach Wondergeddon, or you could contact the Higher Movement Showcase. Click the subscribe button and watch for the next episode. I think there's a bell there that you can hit that, no problem. And we'll talk about some more fantasy sports when anything comes up. Anything new coronavirus-y that relates to sports, we're going to talk about that as well. We are going to talk about UFC another time for sure. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. Coach Wondergeddon, I'm out.